spiritual work, as it's termed, work, spiritual process, should feel good. We may have resistance going into it, but there is a sweetness. I like to use the term, there's a delicious taste to this sacred time. And I know many of you I've shared sacred time with, in your homes, in here, sharing in sacred process. And there's something so grounding about that. And so my title today, The Sacred Unfoldment, is right on time. It's right on time for me. And I know if it's on time for me, that we here today is our time too. So you ever wonder, why am I here? You ever wonder, how do I get through this one? Yeah. Why me? Why not me? Why you? Or, my favorite, who knew? Who knew? If we are truthful to ourselves, at some moments in life, the answer is, yeah, I've wondered. Boy, have I wondered. I've also given it a few other words too. But today we're going to use the wonder word. Once upon a time, I believed wonder was not just bread, but it was a place to live. That wonder was the destination, to be in this wonder. You ever wondered about that? To be in this wonder place. It was a finishing point, a destination, a point of completion. It was a getting through of all the trials and the tribulations of this world. And thus, to live happily ever after. Once upon a time. Sounds like a fairy tale, doesn't it? Well, fairy tales are fun. I grew up with, the Mickey and Minnie and Goofy and all those people, all the fairy tales of childhood. And it feels really nice to wish upon a star, doesn't it? But at some point, wishing comes to an end. Because in truth, wishing is a beginning towards something new for us. It's a beginning of the creative process, I think. A wish is our creative aspect activated. When we wish, we're in contemplation. The Science of Mind founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, and the author of the Science of Mind textbook, he writes, when we use our creative intelligence in strong faith, it will create for us out of the one substance whatever we have formed in our thought. In this, you and I become a co-creator with God. A co-creator. Well, the terms wish and wonder are spirit, I believe, becoming activated within us. But the higher truth and the spiritual reality of that term wonder is greater than a wish. To be in wonder, according to St. Merriam-Webster, bless her soul, is to be curious or in doubt about. To be curious or in doubt about. I get that. But in doubt about what? What? We teach positive, affirmative, clear knowing in this teaching. And yet, doubt? You know me, I love words. I love to research ideas and things around a word and a common concept and bring it to a more spiritual, higher definition for myself. Well, I know that curious opens a way in our mind. To be in doubt about keeps the way open. To be in doubt keeps us open. How is that? It keeps us from boxing it in, finishing the idea. Because we start the idea, we demand that it be something greater, and then our limited mind comes in and says, oh, but it can just go here. We can just move this over here just a little bit. But if we're invoking something greater, and we put an end to it, that end might be something different. And I would be willing to say it's always something a little different, because we cannot fathom with our human mind what the divine mind has in store for us if we keep the door open by being in a little bit of doubt, not that it's going to work, but about the finished outcome. So the terms wish and wonder are spirit becoming activated within us. But the higher truth and spiritual reality of the term wonder is way greater than the wish. To be in doubt about keeps, like I said, the way open. And this sacred unfoldment idea, when filled with wonder, is wonderful. So it's a good mix of creative energy. It's what Spirit does through us. It can only work as it works through us. Through our inquisitive nature, we have the possibility always to live forward. Who wants to stay stuck at the stoplight of our current thinking? I've done it. It's kind of boring. The life moves around us, people drive by, and here we are sitting there, not moving. It's a choice. It's always a choice. To initiate a divine principle that is both curious in approach and yet remains in doubt about just exactly how things may end up is a great place for me to live from. And my shift in that awareness came when the science of mind became part of my life. A lot of people are put off by science of mind. They think it's something other than it's not. And the only thing I know about science of mind is that it's a scientific approach and how to use your own mind. How to unlock its potential, because it's there. We learn to shut it down from birth. Little kids live in this wonder all the time. You're with them, you see them, you laugh with them. You become one, don't we? I become a child. And yet, where is it? When we get to be an adult, we have to act in this certain manner that's preconceived. We can't all go around throwing tantrums. That's my toy. But there's an enthusiasm and a wonder within a child. So there's a paragraph in the Science of Mind textbook that spoke to me way back when I first started this teaching. And it's this: we should approach the study of this science rationally, never expecting to derive any benefits from it that its principle does not contain. In other words, you can't get blood out of a turnip. There's only certain, when we're tied in with divine principle and we let it work through us, it does so in much more grand and wonderful ways than we can imagine. How many can imagine a lot? I can imagine a whole lot of stuff. And so when I do my prayer treatments and my spiritual practice, when I complete that, it's always, okay, so this is what I know that I want. and I deserve, and then I tag on, or something greater. And that's why we chose Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Chico. Because there's always something greater to know, to experience. There's more desserts to taste. I mean, it's moving out into the world and looking at the entire menu of life rather than just one idea. And he goes on to say, for while it is true that we are immersed in an infinite intelligence, a mind that knows all things, it is also true that this intelligence can acquaint us with ideas only as we are able and willing to receive them. The divine mind is infinite. It contains all knowledge and all wisdom. But before it can reveal its secrets, it must have an outlet. Guess who that is? This outlet we shall be compelled to supply through our own receptive mentalities. You and I are God's secrets. We are letting them go out if we are willing. You're letting your divine expression be known if you're willing. Why keep it a secret? We hold back on who we are. We say, I don't deserve that. I can't have that. Why not? Why not? But do you really want it? That's the question. Do you want it, or does someone over here want it for you? Did your parents want it for you, but you don't want it? And that's okay. But to say, oh, I deserve it, do you want it? Do you truly, truly feel it's yours? Want and feel. People get confused. I still do. I'm still learning. So you're letting your divine unfoldment happen through you. It depends upon you to be the outlet, though, by use of your own mental concepts of it. Don't let what you cannot do interfere with what you can do. I'm going to repeat that. Don't let what you cannot do interfere with what you can do. So many times we look at our lives and compare it to somebody else and say, oh, I can't do what they're doing. Great. Don't do it. It's not your thing. Find your expression. Find your divine unfoldment. Find that thing for you that lets you be authentic. Musician, oh, she was beautiful this morning. There was so much authentic feeling in her voice. I think we all felt that. That is who she is now. That moment, that was precious. It's one of a kind. We got to experience it. It'll never be like that again. So that's the appreciation and gratitude of where we've been, and to expect something greater the next time, whatever that is. I'm so grateful for all of God's secrets that I have witnessed these past 3 months in our community. I have been so blessed with love and support, and I want you to know that I don't overlook it. I have let it in. I've not denied a bit of it. And so I know that this has enriched all of us as a community to be authentic, to be in spiritual unfoldment, and to be strengthened by what is happening currently in our lives. And so I offer this writing by, who is this person? Mathnawi. It's not pretty good. From the Teachings of Rumi. It is titled, Find a Home in the Heights. If you can detach yourself from all worldly worries, You will live in the rapture of eternity's garden. If you purify yourself with the holy water of abstinence, that's in negative thinking, the murkiness of your heart will change into clear light. If you separate yourself from the house of desires, that's someone else's personal callings, you will come into the sanctuary of divine majesty. It's being authentic. In the heart of the ocean of unity, you're not a pearl that any worldly money can buy. If you're brave enough not to grovel in the dust, you can find a home in the heights of heaven. And if you dive headfirst into profound contemplation, you dissolve all the past debris of destiny. Doing such things are the sign of the real seeker. The signs of fire in those who race along the path. Are you racing along your path? Or just someone else's? Be curious and in doubt about. Wish upon the star of your imagination. Set up in mind a new experience, one that feels real good. And then, be in the wonder of just how it will be. Remember, beloveds, now is the moment, and we are the ones. Namaste. So it is.